today's video we're going to be unboxing this wormery that's been sent to us by a company called originalorganics.co.uk, and they also have this just here, the tigerwormery.co.uk, so there'll be a link in the description if you want to go and have a look at their products, and we're going to unbox and show you what's inside. So as we open the box here, inside we can see that we've got a bag of worms. They're currently in their dormant state, but once they're all set in the wormery and fed, they'll start to activate. I'm just going to cover them up here to stop the sun getting on, because worms don't like the light. And then we've also got instructions here of how to build the wormery. And then Ben, do you want to take it all out the box for me? So also inside here, some lime mix. You can see that, and that looks like the tap for the drain to worm the the worm juices to be drained off to be used as compost or liquid fertiliser. Let's Ben lifts that out. You can see in the next day here, this is the coca-cola compost which the worms will live in to keep them wet, and they'll slowly work their way up, eat the food, and all that be explained as we go along. So we take the last ones out then, and then we can move the box out of the way.
There you go.
So you can see here, these are all the parts. What we're going to do now, we're going to stick you on the tripod, and then you'll see us building this, and then we'll speed that up, and then we'll bring you back once it's built. got that built, we're on to stage 6 here, which is where we start to put the worms in with all their bedding and the feed. So what it says first is put some newspaper at the base. We haven't got newspaper, but we've got some of the white paper there, which is packing paper that comes with Amazon parcels, so we're going to substitute that. And then we're going to spread the coir bedding around the first tray just on top of the paper, and then we're going to lightly spray it with water so it's just damp to the touch. So first tray in. Go like that.
I think, yeah. Yeah, because then the worms can't get in there.
Hold that.
And then they'll refill them.
What you don't want is all the worms
How long will it take for them to
going. Can we do that? Put the bedding in there.
Cool.
This is quite wet anyway.
Wet and damp. We've got loads of that anyway, haven't we?
Yeah. So lightly spray out the first tray, right. Fill it with water so it's just damp to the touch.
That'll be enough.
That's that one. Empty the worms into the middle of the tray and put two good handfuls of waste in the corner to start things off. So now we're going to open the worms, and what it says to do is to put them in the corner of the tray. That's what we can do. Now you've got to remember the worms don't like to light, so anything that is on the surface, they're going to probably want to bury themselves down in there. So that's the worms that come with it. I think there's 100 tiger worms there. We've also got here some worms that have been given to us from a lady that's got a lot of horse manure. So you can see quite a lot of more tiger worms there, so I'm going to put them in that corner. Just lift that paper up a bit so the worms don't fall down the bottom. So that's those worms in there like that. And then what we're going to do is give them some food. Now we're going to give them in one of the other corners some shredded paper, so that's going to go in there. In this corner we've got some bread and some onion peelings, not onion peelings, sorry, mushroom peelings. They're going to go in there. We've also got some tea bags which are going to go in there, and there's some green scraps from up the allotment, they're going to go in there again like that. Now if you're going to add anything citrus, it does recommend that you don't, but if you do, then there's some lime mix here which it explains a bit further in the manual how that works. So we've got all the food over in this corner, worms in that corner. Now it's time to pop the lid on, and then your worm is now ready to use. Now the rest of this guide tells you what can go in there. So you've got things like kitchen scraps and peels, eggshells, bread, things like fish, dog poo, nappies, meat is a no-no, that must not go in there. We're going to go into this as the days go on, but for now I'm going to pop the lid on. So that's the wormery complete. Now we're going to store that in the shed. So it's in the shed, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's a brick shed that we've got, an outside larder. So that's done, and what we do as they eat through that food, we then add these layers over time. more food will go in there, and the worms will migrate up to eat the food, leaving behind here the rich vermicompost. And in the bottom, just sort of once a week, we just come along here and drain out any liquid food that was gone there. Now if that does get too dry in there, again you can lightly spray it or add some more water to that. But for now, that's that done. There we go, so that's now complete, and Ben's got the extra trays there. I hope this has helped you see the basic setup of a wormery, and please do subscribe if you like our content. Hit that button and leave comments below if you got a wormery, and if there's any techniques that you can pass on to us or advice on feeds and things like that. And as we go along, we'll share this journey with you as we go. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye for now. Good afternoon and welcome to another G&B blog. You would have seen earlier in this video our wormery setup. So we're now several months on, and we're just going to give you an update of how they're breaking down, what waste they're producing, and feeding time. So this here is what is called worm tea, and we just drain it off from this tap down here, which Ben is going to demonstrate. So every few days we come down and just siphon this off. This doesn't get any added water to it. This is purely the breakdown of the food and the worm waste, the liquid we drain off, and the dark matter that's left behind, also known as liquid gold or dark gold, is the waste broken down into a reusable worm compost. So now we're going to show you how things look inside before feeding. Took the lid off, and this is what we left behind. You can see where the worms have been busy, and there's obviously been a shredded envelope, and there's some little bits of plastic in here that obviously the worms can't digest, but everything else, the paper, the food, the tea bags, everything is decomposed really well. Ben, if you just scoop a little bit of that up very gently to show people the worms underneath. You can see how rich these worms are. Lots of baby worms. You can see them in there. So that's the top layer. This is the base tray here. Now what we do with the base tray is just put either some newspaper here or some cardboard, and this is to stop the worms falling all the way through and ending up in the waste pit down here. So as I lift this off here, the previous cardboard plate is here. You can see they've eaten away all that now, and there's quite a lot of worms in there. So they're going to be added to the top plate with the feed, and will generally work their way back down again. So if I put that one there, Ben, you set that one on top. Now lift the two out together. These two. Right, and now we'll take out this bottom one and see how many made it down to the well. There is a few there, and there's still a little bit more waste to join off there. So we're going to pick out these worms by using a pair of tongs and pop them back up to the top layer, and then we'll feed them, and then we'll come back. Now, having scraped off the old cardboard layer into here, you can just see the quality of the worms. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of them here. So our next job now to be to rescue those ones from the bottom, cut the food up into here, and then we'll show you when we're done. Some feed, and we've given them a cauliflower that had gone to seed from the allotment. Tea bags that we've chopped up finely for all the tea to come out. We've got some banana peels in there, and we got some eggshells crushed as well. So That's the food. Now what will happen is the worms will migrate from the lower level we saw, that soil and activity, up into this level and turn all of this into what you saw on the under level. All it leaves us to do now is to drain off the rest of the worm teeth from the bottom, move the worms that had fallen through into that bottom layer up to the top, and then we're done. And that is our wormery.